Hey guys, Justin here with from Penguin Nation, and I just came back from two regionals this weekend, and I thought I would showcase the deck that I used. I used, surprise, surprise, Pure Orchest. Kind of a little bored of using it constantly, but I still think it's the best deck, which is why I used it. I got ninth at the Knoxville, Tennessee regional. Oh, it was Knoxville, it was Rivergate. I got ninth place, and then I won the St. Peter's regional the next day in Missouri. This is the list I used for both days. The only difference between Tennessee and Missouri was Zeraboros was Bomber on Saturday, and on Sunday it was Zeraboros. And I'm glad I made the change because Zeraboros is just better. So let's get into the main deck. Play one Arma. He's the best dumper in the deck, you know, gotta play him. 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring because it's the most versatile hand trap, especially at regionals. That's why I love this card. 3 Cyber Dragon Nashter. I decided to include Nashter into my deck because it's an extender going first, which is insane, and because I don't play Instant Fusion now, I don't need a reason to play Barricade Board Blocker now. Nashter is an extender going first, and going second, it can be used to break boards with contact fusing. You can set it and make Mega Fleet, or if you normal summon it, it'll be Trio Cyber Dragon, and you can make Command Attack Fortress Dragon. So it just makes it have a lot of applications, especially to like cards like Appaloosa and stuff like that. That's why I like it a lot. And in the late game, in a very grindy game, you can normal it to revive Dingirsu because Dingirsu has 2100 defense. So I think Nashter is like a staple now in all the Pure Orchest decks because it has versatility going both first and second. So I would highly recommend this card if you're considering it or not. I think it's very good. Another dumper I play is Dark Gruffer. He makes Rhoda viable because now I have 2 warrior targets to search off Rhoda, obviously. And he's like really good if you open like 2 of the level 5 or higher darks in your hands. You can special him, then pitch the other one, and then he's basically free special summon. And then later on you can like normal summon in Math or something and have another extender in case they hand trap you at some point. From before, what I changed now as I play Phantasme is because Striker's been gaining popularity and I want something to be able to be used against him. It's also really good against Salamangreat because it lets you draw into Rock and other cards for certain matchups, and it's just generically good versus Orcus as well. So Phantasme is a very good addition because Thunder Dragons is not a problematic matchup for this deck, so including this for your problematic matchups is really good. So, and also one of the key huge points of this card is that even though you're using your cards at Babel, you can still special him because he's a dark monster, so it makes it still like usable, which is really good. So I definitely would play at least 2 to 3 in here, but now, like as you can see, instead of just playing the core 9, which are Ash, Nibiru, and Impermanence, I've also included Phantasme in the list. So 2 of him. I play one Orochi, you know, best card. I think I've explained this into the ground why you have to play Orochi. It's really good. A new addition to the deck I played is Mathematician. Before I was just focusing on Scrap Recycler, but I decided to add in Mathematician because he allows you to basically play out of There Can Be Only One. With Striker getting popularity, he's really good for that. Also, he's the best dumper to have on field if he gets ashed. So I play 1 Bombard now because I trimmed down the Bombard Ninja because I play the Mathman. So if you open Harp Mathman, you can go Mathman on Bombard special Harp from hand, which is very like crucial instead of. But if I didn't play Bombard, I would have to use Harp, which is just useless. A lot of people hold their Ash now for Harp instead of like the dumper. So you want to be able to play a card that in case you open an Orcus piece to at least make Galatea and then do something else. So that's why I played the 1 Bombard, but Mathman is just really good for that reason because he has the biggest attack points. When he's destroyed by battle, you gotta draw a card. So I really like him as an addition to the deck, and I highly recommend that you play him. 3 Nibiru. Everybody keeps asking me why would you still main Rock? Well, the reason being is that the Dragon Link Thunder Dragon deck has been gaining a lot of popularity. You just rock them when they have like their Link 2, point left down, point right down, their Danger, and then their Dragon. I think it's like World Challenge Dragon. You Nibiru them then before they can make Appaloosa. Also, it's really good against Salamangreat and just pure Thunder Dragons. Adding double Colossus Titan is really strong, and against Salamangreat, you prevent them from getting Dweller against you, and it just prevents them from making progressive plays. In a grind game setting, Salamangreat is very strong because it can make Dweller in mid game against this deck, which is very crucial. But Nibiru lets you have an edge against them because it just stops them in their tracks and forces them to have will. They also have a good form of like draw generation, which is through Buffalo, which is why, again, I would recommend highly still maining Nibiru, even though it's dead versus macro decks, which I don't really think is a problem, but it's dead versus a deck like Sky Striker, which I understand the reservations about it, but I still would recommend maining it. The one bombard, I explained why only one with Mathematician, and it rounds out the number to 9 Orcus pieces for you to be able to use. Well, I'm including one, but it's 9 Orcus pieces for return in general. 2 symbol, it makes your Orochi just, you're able to use it more freely, and I think this one's very underrated. I think at 2 it's still good. 3 Harp, staple, and 2 Nightmare. I cut it down from 3 to 2. I think 2 Nightmare is just good enough because I'm playing more dumpers, so I have more 1-card starters than having just to rely on Nightmare. Because Mathman alone ends with IP Babble with 2 pieces engraved, which is very good enough because then you have 2 forms of interruption being Ding and like the IP interruption is either Long or a Unicorn. But usually if you just have 1 star, your 4 of the cards that are like versatile cards can either be another star for the next turn or like hand traps or like cosmics and stuff like that, which is why it's really good. Only 2 scrap recycler. I wanted another dumper, rounding on my dumpers to 8 because now I have 3 math, armor, gruffer, 2 scraps, and 1 rota. So it just makes it like have a good base number. That way, if you want to open one of them, 8's like a good roundish number. If you want to open 2 of them, 12's a good rounder number. Scrap is a little worse at Mathematician now because of the gaining popularity of there can be only 1 and cards like that. So that's why I bumped it down to 2 and then put the Mathematicians in. However, he still has a strong key point ahead of Mathematician, being that it can dump 1, Nightmare, and Gizmek. So it's like a weird trade-off in general, which one is better per se. When Scrap Wyvern comes out, the deck would have to change if you decide to go that route, because you'd have to play like cards like O-Line to be able to make Wyvern with it, then Golem to revive him, and then trigger his effect again. Now, if you want to do that build, it's fine. I don't know how strong it is. I'm going to have to test it more, and then I'll make my assumptions based on that. So yeah, 2 recycler for now. And then the 1 Whirl Wand, obviously, to recycle to pieces. Spells and Traps, 2 Cosmic. I think 2 is fine for now in this current format. 1 Foolish Burial. You want it as an extender. It's really good. It could just dump Harp, Nightmare, Gizmek, or even Wand, so it's really strong. 1 Babble, powerhouse of the deck. I think this card should be banned. I think it's the whole reason why this deck's degenerate. It's what lets us like able to play around Rock so well. If they ban Babble, I think this deck will still be very powerful, but it would be very weak to Rock of that. So I think this card should be the one that gets banned. 3 Return, it's just insane. I know I've played 2 before, but I think 3 is fine now. 1 Rhoda, it's to search dumpers. 3 Impermanence, best hand trap. It can't get called by the Craven. It's the best one, and it can be used under Azathoth. It's so curious. So hence why I think you have to play this one. It's just generically good, and as a 6 card, you can use it to out like a problematic negate on the field. And then the 1 Crescendo. I think if you play the deck well enough, you only need 1, because what ends up happening is that for Crescendo is that you only need to use it really once. And on their, you usually go for Babble first, and then on their turn you get Crescendo, so that way you can like make a kill without having any problems. So one's just fine. You never really want to open it to per se. So that's it for the main deck. 40 cards, nothing more. Side deck, I do 3 Lancia, 1 Scythe, and then the 3 Sanctum. You know, the classic artifact package. I love it because Lancia can be special off Sanctum, and Scythe is just a good turn stopper against like every deck that's special from the extra deck except Striker, because then they'll take your guy. 3 Call by the Grave. I need a card to stop Lancia, and this is the best one, and it's really good against just generic hand traps when you know for a fact you're going first. 3 Twin Twisters for back row decks. The 3 Sanctum, like I said previously, and the 2 Evenly Matched. I want this to be 3. I'm gonna like mess around with the ratios on my side. The only reason why it's 2 right now is because the third of side off card was Scythe, so unfortunately I could only play 2. But Evenly is so strong against Dragon Link and against the Mirror that you want to be able to have multiple copies of it in your deck. So that's it for the side deck. In the extra deck, I play the Fortress Dragon because if you normal Nashor, you contact their entire board with all the machines. So it makes it really good because Nashor should a Cyber Dragon on the field. 1 Mega Fleet, this one's really cool because you can kind of bluff your opponent out by setting the Nashor, then contact fusing with their extra deck monster. So if they're playing a Salamangreat, you can like kind of feign that your hand's bad, and then you like set a card, you know, you make it look like your hand's bad, but then you contact fuse their Sunlight Wolf, and then they can't Rage or Roar you, which is really insane. 2 Dingirsu, only 2 is needed. 1 Boral Sword to kill your opponent. 3 Galatea, staple because of Grinding Game. one IP Masquerena, because she is what makes this deck over the top and the best deck in my opinion now, because she gives you the most interrupted first turn play, ending with her, Babel, and then Ding in graveyard, so that way now you get like multiple layers of disruption plus resources for the next turn to kill them. She's very, very strong. One Phoenix for adding there can be only one, so just generic removal. One Unicorn, best form interruption because of IP Masquerena, so it's really strong, especially against decks like Guru where they'll go like Hidden City, set Guru, you go IP and a Unicorn, spin away the Guru, and then they kind of lose. One Linkuriboh, for the rare occasions when you do open Bombard and Harp, you want to be able to combo, so that's why I still play the one of Linkuriboh. Also, if like you have no play, just like it makes your opponent have to think of how to kill you, because Nasher can also go into Linkuriboh, which is kind of cool. One Long, obviously for generic removal. One Trispana, if you only open like Math or Recycler, you want to be able to play this one instead of Bomber, because this one you can make for free with IP, and you can trigger it. It's against the True Drake or Striker deck. This card's really strong because they can't like pop it with Apocalypse. So they have to be able to fish out their one-up Widow Anchor, but you can just clear all their back row, and it's still really strong. And then the one Zeraboros. My opinions with this card is that this card is very needed. It's very strong. If you play against Gremaju or a deck like the Mare and it gets back multiple times, that's gonna be like, it's gonna fuel him up to like 5,000 bonus. It'll be like 8,000 attack Zeraboros, which is insane. He's insane. Banish everything on the field, which is cool. When it says that you can't summon or set to any extra monsters on this card points to, it's referring to the two up top. What the zones that he points to the bottom left and bottom right, those are referred to as a zone, a main monster zone that a link monster points to. So you can summon from the extra deck to those zones, but you can also summon like monsters from your grave to the zones that Zeraboros points to if he's in your extra monster zone. It was something I had to clarify and make sure of, and then that's why I realized that this card is very insane, because it's the best form of interruption. And I highly recommend that you all play it. If you guys have any questions, leave it down in the comments. If there's any other content that you would like to see, let me know. I'm probably going to do some Moonlight duels and videos, and then I got some good feedback. If you want to see the Salamangreat combo, I can do that too. Just let me know. This is Justin Singh with Rempengu Nation, and see you guys.